Louisiana's history is deeply shaped by French colonial rule, which began in the late 17th century. French settlers brought their language, legal systems, religion, and naming traditions to the region. Even after Louisiana changed hands between France, Spain, and eventually the United States, French culture remained dominant, especially in rural plantation areas. French surnames became a strong marker of social status and ownership. These names were recorded in church registers, land deeds, and census records, creating a lasting historical footprint that still defines Louisiana's identity today. The French presence in Louisiana established cultural and social structures that continue to shape the region today. French surnames, introduced during colonization, became lasting symbols of authority and identity. Understanding this background is essential to recognizing how deeply colonial systems influenced both white and black communities. Many enslaved Africans and their descendants were given or adopted French surnames over time. Often, these names came directly from plantation owners, either by force or through administrative convenience. In some cases, enslaved people took the surnames of owners they lived and worked under for generations. In other cases, surnames reflected complex personal relationships, including coercive sexual relations between enslaved women and white French men. As a result, entire enslaved families carried the same surnames as powerful plantation-owning families. The presence of French surnames among enslaved families was not accidental. It reflected power imbalances, forced assimilation, and intimate yet unequal relationships. These surnames became silent witnesses to lives shaped by oppression, survival, and adaptation under slavery. Historical documents such as baptismal records, wills, and property logs reveal striking overlaps between plantation owners and enslaved families. Modern genealogical research and DNA testing have further confirmed these connections. Oral histories passed down through black families in Louisiana often spoke of white ancestors, stories that were once dismissed but are now increasingly validated by evidence. These findings challenge long-standing narratives that separated enslaved people completely from their enslavers. Historical and scientific evidence now confirms what many families long suspected. Shared lineage between plantation owners and enslaved people exposes the personal realities behind institutional slavery. These connections challenge simplified versions of history and demand a more truthful narrative. Despite clear evidence, plantation owners largely pretended not to notice these shared family ties. Acknowledging them would have disrupted racial hierarchies and threatened systems of power built on slavery. By ignoring their own mixed-race children and relatives, owners protected their social standing and economic interests. This silence was not accidental. It was a deliberate strategy to maintain dominance and avoid moral or legal responsibility. The deliberate denial of family ties was a calculated act to preserve racial hierarchy and economic control. By refusing to acknowledge these relationships, plantation owners reinforced injustice and erased personal responsibility, leaving lasting emotional and social damage. Today, descendants of enslaved families are reclaiming these hidden histories. Recognizing shared ancestry forces a more honest understanding of Louisiana's past and its lasting racial inequalities. This acknowledgement does not erase trauma, but it opens the door to truth, reconciliation, and a fuller historical record. The legacy of French surnames among black Louisianans stands as living evidence of a past that plantation owners once tried to deny. Recognizing these hidden histories today is a powerful step toward historical honesty. While acknowledgement cannot undo past suffering, it restores dignity to forgotten families and reshapes how Louisiana's history is understood by future generations.